Yeah.
So, this is the latest episode of Arcadio, and this evening we have been drinking.
Quite a lot.
Quite heavily.
Heavily drinking.
I haven't.
You have. You've been secretly drinking, we followed you to the toilet. Joining us this evening is Naomi,
Hello.
our news editor, and Ryan, who
Hi.
we have to emotionally blackmail into writing
Yeah.
by showing pictures of our boobs.
It doesn't really work.
Yeah, that's why you don't write for us. Write for us more, damn it. I would, in fairness.
And we have Julie. Hello. Also me.
Not really. And Alan. Neither of whom will actually contribute anything to this,
No.
thankfully.
Oh.
So this episode is going to be divided into half.
Yep.
The first half we're going to talk about the new Captain America movie, The Winter Soldier.
Mm.
And then the other half we're going to talk about tabletop gaming, because Saturday,
It's tabletop day.
which is today, because that's what the day the podcast is going to go up. So it's going to go up tomorrow, which is
Oh, you
today.
just ruined the continuity.
No, he hasn't.
I've just done.
He's just set the continuity.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Oh,
So
good.
for the second half, if I'll freaking get to talk about it, like I said, we'll be about tabletop, and we're going to have some snippets of a few games we've played. You will find out that our past selves were going to play Firefly,
We were
but that takes an age to set up and an age to play.
horrendously long. We'd be going for about 5 hours, and
5
no
hours.
one's going to stick around that long.
Mostly because I get to go around the space being a companion, like la 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 la.
And somebody just like, my ship's broken, I'll just strand it in space.
So we didn't play that.
No.
Then we were going to play King of Tokyo, but Naomi threw a strop.
I did not throw a strop.
Oh, she's throwing a strop again.
Oh my god, I just said I didn't want to play King of Tokyo.
Stropping. Stroppily.
Oh my god.
Fair enough. And that'll be it. So we just saw The Winter Soldier, which was the latest installment in the Marvel movie universe.
Phase 2.
Phase 2. That's Phase 2. It's all kicking off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This
It
is the
really
second
is.
movie. This is the second movie of Phase 2 because we had
It
Thor
is.
2.
We had Thor 2, to be followed with Guardians of the... Oh, well, Iron Man 3.
Iron Man-
It's actually the third.
Yes.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 is...
Yeah, no, because it's the first one after the Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Iron Man 3, I think, is ultimately fairly inconsequential to the overall phase.
I think you can kind of say that about the last Iron Man 2 as well, to be honest.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Well, Iron Man 2 had a few little... Iron Man 2 set up Captain America.
Well, I liked Iron Man 3, I'm sorry.
I don't know,
I
Iron Man 3
like
was good.
Iron Man
It was
3.
good, just not... And it doesn't have a huge impact on phase 2.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It was. Whereas, okay, we will try and keep this as spoiler friendly as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case of spoilers, we will give an announcement so you can skip ahead.
No spoilers.
So that's. Can we have Jessica Alba come in?
Spoilers!
So when you hear Jessica announce that there will be spoilers, you can skip ahead, and then we'll do our best to make sure you don't get any
Yeah.
spoilers.
Mm.
So the basic premise is it's after the events of the Avengers, the first Avengers movie. So New York is kind of still, I suppose. Well, we haven't seen New York.
The whole
No, the
world
whole-
is generally still in a
Kind of in
a
shock.
state of fear,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, aliens
Mm.
and gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we kind of come across a very disillusioned Cap,
Mhm.
not too sure about his role with S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore.
Sort of carrying on from the Avengers very much. It started there.
Yeah, it was. It was questioning Nick Fury and his role as a soldier within S.H.I.E.L.D.'s arsenal. But I suppose the basic premise is that not all is well within S.H.I.E.L.D. and not all is well within, obviously, international. How do you summarise the plot without ruining it?
To be honest, I think we are going to have to put spoilers into this.
Spoilers!
Thanks,
Alert,
Jess.
alert.
Well, without spoiling
Had
it
that
too
long
thoroughly,
time.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is essentially compromised.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. A number of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s projects have been compromised, and basically Captain America is faced with no longer working in a world where he was so used to being, look, you have soldiers and you have generals, now you have these spies, and you have kind of the two faces of a government, and all that kind of side of them, and he's trying to find his place within that. So I think we can move away from the plot and actually go to what. So overall consensus.
I loved it.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Like the first one was my favorite of the Phase 1 movies.
It was your favorite.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
See,
my least favourite.
It's very few people agree with me on that, but
I'd actually put Iron Man as my least favorite.
Oh, I loved Iron Man.
I'm not saying I didn't like Iron Man.
See,
Yeah.
the thing is with me that I rate all of them as minimum 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
So Captain America just went that bit further for me for the first one.
Just the 8.1 out of 10.
I would say a 9.
Oh.
And then this one's definitely lived up to it. It'll be. I imagine Guardians of the Galaxy will probably exceed it, but
Yeah, I'm quite excited for it.
Super excited for Guardians, yeah.
I enjoyed it. Not the biggest Captain America fan.
yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I don't know. He's always kind of had that whole,
Stay at school.
stage.
Yeah.
He was like the G.I. Joe of Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel comics don't do G.I. Joe. But, the whole kind of like, he's the Captain Planet of Marvel comics. So it was like,
Yeah.
all his stuff came with like a moral lesson, and I always really found that really annoying.
I actually think that's part of the beauty of him in the movies in particular, because the cinematic universe changes everyone else so much,
Yeah.
but he's played dead straight,
Yeah.
and they don't introduce, like, even in this one, which is a lot darker than they have been, there's still no cynicism or anything. He's just straight, 100% good guy, and I think that's really rare in this day and age to actually see, because every hero has to have some sort of dark side
Yeah.
or hidden
Well, I
thing.
suppose I kind of like Chris Evans' Captain America because before Cap was very much, well, you do what the military says, you do what the government says, and that's the way we go. It's straight and narrow. Whereas we do have that kind of, I'm not too sure if what we're doing right now in international waters is actually considered illegal.
He's having to learn to think for himself more, which is quite interesting.
Like I said, I did enjoy the movie, and it is definitely worth going to see.
Awesome.
Few things I wanted to bring up about it.
His lips.
Chris Evans has the freaking pinkest lips the whole way through that movie. I'm sorry, I could not, and it wasn't like, oh, those lips are so dreamy. It was literally like, did they not realise that they caked on too much lip gloss?
Yeah. It wasn't even lip. I don't know what it was.
It was just the lip. It was the colouring. I don't know. That scene in the, and that's not a spoiler. Is it a spoiler? Would you consider the scene in the return home?
Possible spoilers.
That's not.
It's not. It's not in.
I think
It's
most
when
people.
it's snowing.
No, the thing is, most people who have watched Avenger would have known.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. It's
Because
not a
that scene
spoiler
was
because
supposed
they
to
talked
be-
about it in advance.
Because
Yeah,
that scene
so
was
it was
supposed
known.
to be in
But there is a
Avengers.
particular scene where he's in a nursing home. Well, say with a character, in case anyone hasn't been made aware. Yeah.
Already.
And there's just all these close-ups of that person's face, and then Steve Rogers' face, and the entire time I was like kind of going, this looks like a really bad episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my god.
Like you could literally see the makeup caked onto it. I kept looking up around his hairline just to see if they'd missed it, and they could see that odd little blemish. I'm like, no, he's got like this perfectly made up, painted on face,
You know, it's
and then he's he looks like he's got a really bad tan, and then he's really, really pink lips.
Yeah.
It might just be me as well, but did it seem that the makeup artist may have gone a bit overboard on Scarlett Johansson as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Yes.
yeah. It looked like she had been like.
There's times where she looked okay, and then there's times where she spent like an hour in the sunbed.
Yeah,
it's like a really dodgy sunbed tan.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, I'm going on my holidays, I better give a top up.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest,
then-
like that for me was quite distracting. Like because the thing is, like with Captain America, I didn't notice the lips thing. I wasn't paying so much.
You were looking at the butt.
I
Yeah.
was looking at the butts,
Yeah.
but with Scarlett Johansson, it was really noticeable.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
and I
Especially
don't-
the first few shots she comes into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's the perfectly done hair. I think that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, I mean, she
It's a little
can
bit
can
too-
still be awesome badass and look a bit scruffy.
Yeah.
She
I mean,
doesn't have to be.
it's just quite a shock after how she's been in the last two.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it wasn't even. Yeah, she had. I mean, she's Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's no other thing about Russian out there who hasn't got sallow skin, or
Mm.
there's no black Russian people or anything like that. Although if you watch Archer, there isn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
As the only black woman in Russia.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just it's so distracting at the very start. You're
It is.
literally you were used to this, kind of pale, not unhealthily pale, but
Yeah.
short
Yeah.
red hair, and then
Mm.
she comes in and it literally like
She's
Very
lost.
supermodel.
All she needs
She's
is
being
like
lost.
Yeah.
she literally needs a few braids, and it's like she was on holiday in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not to say that this is actually a detraction from the movie
No,
in any way. It
It's
God,
a
doesn't,
no.
distraction from the movie.
it doesn't impair their performances
Yeah.
in any way. So.
And we understand it's very superficial to be talking about it, but we're pointing it
Oh
out
well,
anyway.
I think it's actually it does bear kind of a mention, as in why would they suddenly? I wonder if it's the work of the different creative team behind it or anything. But why would they suddenly feel the need to gloss up Black Widow?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it was done on purpose. It could have
Or
been a case
was
of
it
she was
just
on mission.
Yeah, or
Mm.
was it just an unintentional thing? I don't know. It's
Maybe
not.
she
It's
was
not
back
a
in
bad
Budapest.
point anyway. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what
Yeah,
happened.
she was in Budapest again.
That's just
Yeah.
where her favorite tanning place is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice her little arrow necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That was a
so
nice little
cute.
touch.
I think at some points I wouldn't say bored, but it was like I did feel that dialogue, or even the kind of unrolling the plot scenes were a little forced.
Really?
Particularly when they first go to discover, what's going on, and
Yeah.
they return to the old military base. That definitely dragged a little bit. It was
Really?
like,
I thought that
there's no signals here, and it was just the chemistry at first didn't work really well.
I
'cause
think
they-
that's the idea, because they're building their
Yeah.
friendship.
And a fair amount, I suppose it's kind of a thing where you have to consider, like this is completely unrelated, and I don't even know if they would have been considering this, but there has always been that thing where, Cap is as American as they come,
Yeah.
whereas Black Widow is, she's a Soviet spy, or
Yeah.
was, in any case, which is an interesting point. On the topic of characters, because we should probably just get off of
those two.
those two in particular, the Falcon getting his
Oh
Yes,
my god, the
Falcon,
Falcon.
yeah.
was
as a
awesome.
very good contender for new best character in the MCU,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
I think I would have liked to have seen them actually getting his kit.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
going
see,
through
yeah.
So
there
suddenly
like
it was a case of,
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
this is where it is, this is what we go through, and then suddenly it's a
Actually,
case of
that is
he's
quite
wearing
awkward.
it.
It's like, this is where it is, and then there's kind of a that would be no bother.
Yeah.
And then get in the car or we'll kill you.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
it legit was no bother.
Yeah.
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 It was a very good reveal of it though, but
Yeah, no, it
we
was.
won't get to that.
Um,
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
we obviously get to see a little bit more Nick Fury.
Oh, Nick Fury was so badass in this movie.
Yeah, the man just plays him without compare.
No, I don't think there's anybody else.
No.
The only other person I would like to see attempt it, Denzel Washington. I think he would have made, or he's not dead.
Oh my god.
Denzel, in case you're listening, you're not dead.
Well,
Don't worry.
he's got that quite intimidating build.
He does,
and
yeah.
and stuff.
Um,
He's very stern.
I think he'd been really cool.
But Sam Jackson just loaded
He's
it
incredible.
out of the park.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I officially don't think of Nick Fury, but
Yeah.
I think of Samuel L. Jackson anymore.
Yeah.
You don't. You actually can't.
Isn't it funny that because I mean, the big thing about the MCU is they do kind of half take from the 616 verse and half take from the Ultimate Universe. Isn't it funny to think how different it would have been if we'd ended up with the regular Nick Fury from the regular universe,
Yeah.
an old man.
Yeah. He looked, but he was basically like, to me, that version of Nick Fury always looked like a really, really, really angry Reed Richards.
Yeah, he totally
Yes.
does. They go to the same barber.
It
and
was
stuff.
like, why does Reed Richards have an eye patch
Yeah.
on now? Oh, what's that stretching? Why is he shooting people?
Yeah, I don't know if we can talk about what actually the plot that's been sort of shaken up.
Okay, so
Mm.
we're coming up to 14 minutes, okay?
Mhm.
So, for the next 2 minutes, there are going to be...
Spoilers!
So, if you haven't seen the movie, we suggest skipping to the 17-minute mark, which is when we'll stop talking about spoilers, and we'll go into talking about... we'll wrap up, and we'll go into the tabletop. Is that good for everyone?
Yep.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Warning again, once more.
Spoilers! Spoilers!
17-minute mark, we'll see you back here if you haven't seen the movie just yet.
Yeah.
Go.
Jumping right into it, as of the end of the Winter Soldier, S.H.I.E.L.D. is officially dissolved.
Yeah. Which brings up a few questions.
Mhm.
What the hell happens with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Yeah.
the TV show that's been running?
So when they catch up,
Yeah.
Now,
because they are a bit behind.
I have only started into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Same.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And there has been this kind of, it's not an Avengers thing, and I think it's gotten a serious backlash from the fans.
It
No,
has.
let's talk about spoilers now because we've
Let's
got
talk
2
about
minutes.
spoilers. Yeah, we've only got 2 minutes to talk about spoilers.
Okay, we'll continue talking about spoilers. But yes, essentially, S.H.I.E.L.D. is dissolved.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is dissolved. I'm sorry, I did not like Bucky.
I loved him.
No.
I thought he was great.
He was a bit too...
He looked like he belonged in 30 Seconds to Mars.
But the thing is, that's how Bucky
That's not what
looks.
he looks
No,
like.
but the Winter
though.
Soldier, it was literally like, all you needed now was Jared Leto to come out and be all like, yeah,
No,
I
but
feel your
that's what he
pain.
looks
I feel
like.
your pain.
That's exactly what he looks like in the comics, though.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson's too grown up, or too dolled up. Bucky's too grunge.
Yeah.
You shut up.
No.
To continue on the spoilers track.
Yeah, spoiler.
Spoilers.
As of the end of it, not only is S.H.I.E.L.D. dissolved, Black Widow is apparently going back into hiding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To
Which brings up,
establish a new identity.
yeah, which
Yeah.
brings up the whole kind of where we're going to see her in with Ultron.
Cap has gone off looking for Bucky with Falcon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the key scene, the cameo.
Yeah, so everybody knows at the end of all the Marvel movies, there's always that one scene that
Mm.
hints at what's coming next. And I have to say, in recent times, this is definitely my favourite.
Yeah.
I did like the whole Hulk and Iron Man
Mhm.
talking. It was quite comedic.
But this has a
is
cameo.
jaw-dropping. We get a look at... Well, we get to learn, obviously, that Hydra isn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And isn't about to go anywhere because
Yep.
they have Loki's staff,
Mhm.
which...
Oh, incidentally, Hydra were the ones who compromised S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Should probably have put that in.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
That's actually the big spoiler.
Yeah. That's why they have the stick.
Oh, we have 1 minute left to finish this off.
So we see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch,
for the first time.
not too happy with Quicksilver. He looked...
He's
like-
very bulky.
He's
Yeah.
quite bulky, and he looked
Yeah.
like he was teleporting more than...
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's the whole speed thing in a confined space. But he
That
just-
was just a cameo.
Yeah.
I'm sure
It
they'll
looked
work
like
on that.
Hulk was bouncing around the place in a
Yeah.
confined room.
with white hair.
Yeah.
Dirty white hair. Scarlet Witch, then we see her playing with blocks.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's this whole, I'm so childlike.
Yeah.
Which I hope they go down that route of
Mm.
keeping kind of Wanda kind of contained
Yeah.
in the whole, perfect little childhood kind of thing. And Pietro is her kind of minder.
Mm.
And not only that, the two of them are under the control of Hydra, apparently.
Yes.
Or are at least imprisoned by them.
Now I was going to call him
Created
Baron
by
von
them,
Doom,
actually,
but
I'd
it's
say.
Baron von...
Baron von Strucker.
Right, yeah. So, and he's got the frickin' monocle and everything.
Yeah.
And he looks exactly as you imagine him. And that's...
Spoiler,
Spoiler talk.
free.
Spoilers are
Oh,
over.
can we address the one thing that
No,
we
we
all
can't.
got super... No, this isn't a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
Doctor Strange exists.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
they've established...
Yeah,
Stephen
this
Strange.
isn't a spoiler, but as of one sort of casual throwaway line in the movie, they address Stephen Strange. So that might come in somewhere down the line, which really throws things
Oh
for
my
kind of a
god.
whack.
Just a
Um,
tad.
Oh, and actually, just on the subject of cameos, this is just like a personal thing. But and this isn't a spoiler because it's the first minute of it. The opening villain of it is Batroc the Leaper, which is absolutely glorious.
Where did we see this?
He's
He was
the
a pirate.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Wait, what?
Yeah, Batroc the Leaper turns up in the first minute of it and jumps around and kicks shit, and it's glorious.
It's actually quite cool.
Yeah,
Mm.
That
the
was
fight
actually...
scenes were
I
fabulous.
have to say that the hand-to-hand combat
It was
is
fantastic.
spectacular.
It was really visceral, like
Yes.
it looked like they were genuinely fighting.
I would like to point out that this is the first Marvel movie I've watched that I've actually gone, this really couldn't be put to kids.
Oh god.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's very violent.
And I think that's I would say that's very different from my own growing up with Captain, reading Captain America and seeing Captain America on TV and stuff like that. That's not what I saw from Captain
Yeah.
America.
That's the beauty of it,
yeah.
because the last Captain America was set in World War II and
Yeah.
it wasn't as violent as
Yeah,
this
it was great. Comparison. No, this is, I mean...
Mad
we-
comedy as well.
Hmm?
The first Captain America.
There was a bit of
Yeah.
slapstick to it.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one is very straightforward.
It's very dark. It
Yes.
is. There is a lot more, not gore, but a lot more violence.
A lot more
Yeah.
violent and
Like, it's
implied
not-
gore.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very much so because there's that. Well, we won't go into it, but there is just a lot
There are
more
a few
gunfights.
There are a
and,
few deaths.
And a
There
lot
are
more
quite
direct
a-
gunshots.
and it's a lot more apparent that a lot more people are dying. as
Yeah,
opposed-
there's a very high body count.
yeah, it's not like they could be alright, I suppose.
Without going into too much spoilers about it, the Winter Soldier, most of his scenes in particular are very straightforward aggression. They're very aggressive scenes.
Yeah, it's not like he's coming out to be all
Punches.
broody. It's literally, I'm here with a gun, I'm going to shoot you with it.
Yeah.
So the other side of our podcast this evening, or today, is tomorrow being today, which is
Oh
Saturday.
my god.
I know, timelines confuse you.
He's being Captain Janeway.
I
Don't
haven't-
mess with the space-time continuum.
I haven't watched
Unless-
Star Trek.
She hasn't seen any of it.
None of it. Not one.
We're going to have a marathon of it.
Yeah, we are. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Oh,
We're literally
God.
just going to watch Captain Janeway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be Captain Janeway.
Yeah.
The best captain in Star Trek.
Okay.
That's established now.
Mm.
Yeah, yes, she's the best.
She is.
She actually is. We were discussing.
No, I was just wondering, was it established by any official thing?
Yeah.
Oh no, just
Podcast.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
Is official.
I have a Ouija board. I was speaking to Jim Martin. He's like, alright, thanks. Yeah, alright, Mark. Yeah, well.
Wait, Ouija board to speak to who?
Gene
Gene
Roddenberry.
Who's that?
Wow.
What?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Alright,
Does
let's
she
move on.
belong
Yeah,
in this
that's-
podcast?
No, I mean,
So-
this is when you just shut up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I
Yeah.
just haven't watched
Now
Star
he
Trek.
created Star Trek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stupid bitch.
Alright.
Oh my
So
god.
moving on to tabletop.
Tabletop. So I suppose this is where we should insert our clip from Munchkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Here we go.
Here.
No, wait. Let's go to this. It'll be really funny. Let's make our pastels seem really stupid
and not make
make that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you go. Pastels, you're idiots.
And
And
Naomi.
Naomi's just an idiot. That was awful. Future us are going to be really disappointed.
You have
Anyway.
a future?
If.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I can see your whole hand.
I thought you were actually going to say something else. So this is our contribution to international. Is it international or just world tabletop? Day?
International.
Just
International
tabletop day,
World.
Okay, so it's International World Tabletop Day. We're
That
That
supposed to-
includes everybody.
everybody, all inclusive. Yay!
If you're in this world, you're invited.
Yeah.
So if you've been listening to any of the podcasts, you'll know that we were going to play Firefly.
Wait, did we say that we were gonna?
Well, we will later on in the future when we record the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
the magic of editing.
That I won't do. I'm just going to leave all this in. I bleeped you there, Ryan. You know it.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
the
we're
main
going
thing
to-
is Firefly is really, really long.
Really, really good, but we said we'd just, because it's the podcast, so we want to try and get something quick in.
Yeah.
So we're going to play a game of Don't Let Naomi Win Munchkin.
I'm sure past
Oh my
us will
God.
talk a lot more about Firefly in the future.
We will.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm confused right now.
Yeah.
Is this an X-Men comic?
Yes.
Timeline!
Munchkin.
Okay, so we already did our roles,
Future.
and I'm going first,
Fucking
and
right.
I am going to play... I'm going to become a dwarf.
Lame.
Oh yeah. That's supposed to
What's
go
the name
with my
about
hand.
dwarves?
Nothing is Declan though.
Racism.
Well, you
Cleric.
Oh.
I'm a gay dwarf.
That's gay.
I'm going to equip my mithril armor,
This is not the most serious of Munchkin games.
and that is me done.
Alright. As I said when I started, I literally have the worst starting hand ever. So I'm going to discard these 3 cards,
Wow.
and that's my turn.
Oh my god.
Even his treasure cards are monsters. Sometimes it just has monster written across the front of it.
If I'm a halfling, am I also a human?
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
No.
You'd half breed.
Play this.
Don't.
I'm an elf.
Oh, and
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Uber gay.
Leave me alone.
Oh, boo.
Oh my god. Free guy.
I'm going to contact the Rainbow Coalition and tell them how gay you are.
Oh my god. Fuck off.
You good to go?
No, I need to discourage.
Oh, your fucking fat hand.
Oh.
Ah,
So much Declan in this game.
4 against 6.
Because she made me get away all my good cards. I was keeping for issues like this.
Did
and-
I? Did I?
Yes.
Was I good?
Should we talk about the potted plant conundrum?
Okay,
We talk about
it's an
actually-
intelligent.
Yeah,
No, this is an
Oh, wait.
intelligent potted plant. It's 6.
Bollocks.
Oh,
You
okay.
Can't
can't
equip
equip
during
during combat.
Yeah, to get before.
Then
yeah.
counteracting your +5.
Oh.
So, alright.
Okay, so
What
1
do
against
people
4.
have?
I got.
Does anyone have a monster?
I had. Well,
No.
Do I?
Oh, okay. No, this'll do.
no.
This'll do.
Which one?
Oh, shoot. Oh no.
I
Sorry, Alan.
Yeah,
Bonus.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
I hate you.
Alright.
Just give me him. Alright. So,
Mm.
no wait, that won't do it.
Mm.
That won't do it. We can't do that. Because
Mm.
that will counteract the whole thing in the first place.
Okay, what
Is
about
it
the other
worth
one?
wasting on this because it's
No, we
pretty,
can't put one down. What?
It's a pretty big monster.
But no, that's the thing. Right, it would counteract the whole purpose of it.
Oh, it's okay. I've got that other card.
Oh, well, see, we want to have him...
Don't we reserve
what is
this
it? What
for
is it?
Naomi only?
No, I mean, we want to have him have a pure loss to the potted plant, because otherwise
That's
it doesn't count.
true. I give away my plus things to monsters.
Yeah.
And I actually genuinely have nothing.
Oh,
I really have nothing.
I'm
So-
actually going to win against the potted plant.
that is such a...
That's never happened.
Yeah, never.
Still deciding.
Kicking down the
Awesome.
door. Divine intervention.
Woo!
I win.
Oh!
Thanks, all.
Shit.
Two you
Yeah.
pick. I won by default. I won
yeah,
by
but like-
default. That's even worse.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's
Yeah.
like
That's
that's
me.
like winning King of Tokyo with
You see,
level.
here's the way
Yeah.
it's working,
Victory
right?
point.
Yeah.
There's no honor
Here's,
in there.
here's my favorite thing about it, is you're all going, it's a shit way to win. Because y'all are saying that makes me feel better.
See,
Well, I went up to that six.
Oh, it's hardly like a good way to win.
I don't care. I won.
It's like...
Okay. I would like someone...
Oh my God.
I would like
said
an
you
impartial
win.
adjudicator to point out the fact that I, Declan, John, Paul, Julie...
I thought you
The
did.
Pope?
Yeah.
I thought you
Dead
did
Pope.
already.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't actually have those names anymore. I removed myself from the church.
Yeah.
That was Declan Julie.
Yeah.
So what would you like the independent adjudicator to say?
To point out
Yeah.
that I,
Yeah.
Declan blank blank Judy,
Yeah.
reached level 10.
Uh-huh.
With
For everybody
divine
else.
intervention.
Oh, well, yeah, no, you
Yeah, you
definitely
did. There's
reached
no,
level 10.
there's no
There's
doubt
no
about
such
that.
thing.
Therefore,
Yeah.
I reached level 10.
Therefore,
I won.
But
definitely
in the
was.
same way that, like, you know, Big Bang Theory wins in ratings.
That's
Like,
great.
Oh.
That's actually a very good show.
Is it that?
Yeah.
Bazinga.
Yeah, it was Zinga. I love that catchphrase. You know who's really
Oh,
funny?
Alan.
Leonard.
And then
And I love the canned laughter. That really adds to it.
Alan.
I hope you forget
Oh.
to edit this bit out. Just
You
I'm
see?
not. I'm gonna keep it.
Everyone
Right.
I'm gonna keep
to think of you. What?
He's wearing a Big Bang Theory T-shirt.
Yeah, but that's Alan. Like, he's allowed. We're
They
not
just
mad
said
at
to you,
him.
you're the Big Bang of our group.
No,
No,
we're not
we
mad
didn't.
at
That's
that.
coming from the Doctor Who and the Sluts Make Slutterson show.
What's wrong with this? Let's mix it up. Show.
I'm just saying that's what she is.
Mhm.
She's that fake TV show that we made up.
Mm.
There you go.
Flutter.
Why are you? Why are we calling you a slut?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably what you're wearing.
Probably, yeah.
It probably is because of what she's wearing. To be honest.
Slut clothes. Or sluts. Slut clothes. Slut clothes.
We just like the word.
Bicep.
I love the word sluts.
Hell, slut.
Can you end that there? So I won. I Declan Duty won. Win.
Because he's a poopy face.
That's just my last name.
Anything else
There
to
is
add
no
into
honor
this?
in winning with divine intervention.
Actually, there's
Creepy.
extra honor.
There is
No.
no
He
honor.
won
There
in
is
the
no
same
honor
way
in
that,
winning
like, the
King
Black
of
Moon
Tokyo
and
with
the Stop
victory
it.
point.
Stop it.
There is no honor.
So we were literally just. Well, we'll just keep it in space.
Yeah.
We played about what 30 minutes a Munchkin.
About that, yeah.
About that. We're not gonna chuck it all at you purely
Yeah.
because
We haven't chucked it all at you.
We haven't.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you're getting the
I
time.
know.
In the space that we we played that clip, we explained the whole thing to Naomi, and she's totally gotten it. We watched
Yeah.
everything, and she totally gets it now.
Yeah.
Time is
I can
not.
see time.
You can see time now.
Yeah, you're in the
Good.
Matrix.
That's
Oh my god.
also the hallucinatory Jervis I put in your drink.
Oh.
Yeah. So tabletop.
Yes.
Saturday, being today, is the. Confused it now.
They all know.
I want to keep starting it.
But you said at the start that it
Yes,
was.
I said it. No, I'll say it again. So it's tabletop. It's international, worldwide, world,
It's tabletop day.
global.
Yeah.
Tabletop day. So whether you're playing cards, you're playing board games, or you're playing role-playing games,
Or you just play snakes and
Which we
ladders.
will be to celebrate Tabletop Day.
we will.
Or if you're Melissa, play Monopoly.
Lame.
Monopoly's not a
Twister.
real game. Twister.
that on the table.
Tabletop twister.
Very intimate Twister.
You have to roll to move your hand.
Oh, do I?
Oh.
Okay.
No, in Twister, not now, you idiot. That's a ring. That's not even a dice.
It's a one-sided dice. What would be actually here? I think this is probably the best question to summarize tabletop for us anyway. Your favorite moment across anything. So have a think about it.
But just tabletop related things, not anything.
Your favorite moment in life.
No, only tabletop.
Mm.
So it can be card game based, it can be board game based, it can be role playing.
God.
Yeah.
So just what everyone else is thinking, I'll give you a quick example. This isn't my favorite, but this is just something that springs to mind because we were talking about Firefly, the board game, and I should like to point out that the Arcade does review board games and card games
We do.
whenever we possibly get the chance,
Yeah.
and we get
Declan's
our.
house is literally gradually filling.
It is.
with them.
It's
It is.
and that's because of BoardGamer.ie.
Yeah.
I buy all my stuff from them.
Noble fellows.
God bless them.
Well, this is an insert advertisement.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff. No, if you are whether you're seasoned or new to board games or card games, definitely check out BoardGamer.ie. Fantastic stuff. You can get Munchkin, which you heard us play. And you can get Firefly, which I'm about to talk about.
Munchkin is great if you're just starting out card games.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is actually.
Munchkin's just great if you're starting out in general.
Yeah.
It's actually it kind of works as an introduction to really anything.
Yeah.
It's got elements of RPG.
It's quite a
Yeah.
it's quite a social.
It's a very social game
itself.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not with people you want to stay friends with.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Not with
yeah.
people you like.
Yeah.
That's why we all play.
Yeah.
I like you anyway.
So yeah, just make sure you check out BoardGamer.ie and obviously the Arcade for our reviews of set products and stuff like that. And that was, by the way, no way endorsed by them. We just wanted to throw them a mention because they're really nice people.
Yep.
So talking about Firefly, picked it up at Christmas. Absolutely beautiful game.
It's stunning.
There
It's fantastic.
loads of different. You've got loads and loads of different things to do it. Ryan is going to be reviewing it, I believe.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan will be reviewing it
Yeah.
when we show him our boobs again.
We just have to keep trying.
Yeah.
I need to see some different boobs. Like it's getting old.
Alan.
he starts crying.
He hasn't seen enough of me in Snapchat.
That's true.
He
We have
has
seen a
actually.
lot of Alan.
I don't send boobs. You don't send Alan's boobs.
No,
on
just
Snapchat.
butt.
He politely averts his eyes.
There. I'm polite like that. I'm a
And
gentleman.
you're saying
Yeah.
this in Arcadio.
So anyway, back to Firefly. So we played a few games with it at Christmas,
Yeah.
and then came back to after spending time at home, brought it back with me, and myself, Alan, and Juliana. Once at Saturday evening again over the holidays, just trying to figure out what to do. Nobody really wants to play Munchkin, but we said, look, we've been playing this. Myself and Jules have been playing it over Christmas. We'll try to get Alan into it because Alan likes Firefly.
Good job, Alan.
So we just figured we'd get into it and see how we get on. And as everybody else, I'm assuming everybody here has played at this stage.
Yeah.
The campaigns do take a hell
Oh,
of
they
it.
do.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the longest games I've played.
It's
You're
on
talking
average
around-
a 4 hour
Yeah, you're
game.
talking around 4 hours, generally
Yeah.
speaking.
And I've played by my own several times at home.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
And that
Aw.
took like
Aw.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
If you can keep the momentum going. Right?
Yeah.
I think you need to be in the right headspace for Firefly, but
Yeah.
and that's what happened. I didn't end up in the right headspace for
Yeah.
playing the game. So I literally took my ship and
Yeah.
I flew to the darkest regions of what's they refer to the outer
Border space?
border space.
Yeah.
And I committed suicide.
Yeah.
Wow.
I literally
Kept going
flew to
to
the edge of the
everything.
board and just dumped my cargo along the way, dumped my loot along the way,
Yeah.
and dumped my passengers and crew along the way,
Yeah.
and then
No
got to the
spare
darkest
parts,
reaches of space and offed myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because
Oh my gosh.
Juliana brought over the frickin' Reavers
Yeah.
Everywhere.
and ruined my game.
Yeah, in the
Aw.
first game we played at our house, I got them the first 2 times I
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Yeah.
They're awful.
That's what makes the game
Yeah.
exciting.
and it's not
Reavers.
because I'm a sore loser or anything.
Yeah, one thing I really like is when board games do have that sort of genuine sense, almost like, again, RPG like progression to them, I guess, and
Yeah.
Firefly does that really
Yeah,
well.
you actually work at the game. You work at trying to improve yourself
Yeah, definitely.
and get into the game. But
If I was to offer one criticism, it's that there's no limit to it. You can kind of just keep going.
you can keep going.
Yeah.
But I suppose you can't stop the signal, so...
Yeah, but like it leads.
I saw you roll your eyes, you bitch.
I just think it leads to a certain. I think if you voluntarily or else impose some sort of house rule to limit it, it's fine. But otherwise, as we said, it'll tend to last about 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
But what'll generally happen is the first 3/4 of it will be very, very slow pace building yourself up,
Yeah.
and then you do everything in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true.
Yeah,
You can
that's
position it very quickly.
Yeah.
So, has anyone got their favourite moment?
Yeah. A few weeks ago, myself, Ryan, Anthony and Danny were playing an RPG.
Mm.
And I was playing... Basically, she was a pop star who her career was ruined after she was horrifically scarred when she was attacked by, like, a rabid fan. And,
Because the fan had rabies?
no, she was, like, mangled, like...
A raving fan?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's not the hand gesture from Mangle.
We only did a hand gesture, which...
Stabbing! It was stabbing to the face!
Stabbing motion to the face. Like this.
You can
It's
all
not-
assume what the gesture was,
Yeah.
okay?
Uh,
And,
My, you're rather excited for a rabid fan.
and Danny was playing this girl who had come from this planet with, like, no tech or anything. Well, they had their own tech, but she was, like, not versed in the world at all. And Anto was playing our group ship captain. And we all touched down on this planet, and...
Is this Firefly based?
No.
Okay.
This is
Oh.
just, like,
A
original...
random space RPG.
Yeah, like, Ryan wrote it. It was great. But yeah.
Oh, this was there.
There will be.
Anto was off doing the usual captainy stuff. He was getting into fights. There was like secret agents and stuff. And meanwhile, me and Danny were off clothes shopping. And every like, we went in like a hiking shop. And Danny was like, "Is this stylish?" And I was like, "No, these are horrible. You don't want to wear these clothes." And like and Danny with his deadpan face, like role playing his character entirely, just goes, "I'm sorry, we're going to leave your shop. My friend says it's not stylish." And we just come back to Anto with all these dead bodies and
Yeah.
shit, and we're like, "But we bought clothes."
I should incidentally point out that Danny's character, and this is one of the best characters I've ever seen
She's
in an RPG.
fantastic. Oh my god.
Oh, and he plays her so well.
Yeah,
God,
it's
incredible.
fantastic. I love it.
Oh,
That just had a really frustrating from a GM's point. Funny, but frustrating from a GM's point of view. What's your character? He's fighting things. What are you doing? I'm clearly shopping.
that was the kind of thing. Most of the plot
It
at this
fit.
stage was revolving around Anto, so
Okay.
they just
Yeah.
went off to shop basically. Anto actually.
Great.
That would have been one of the most recent really funny things I saw. Basically, they were in like this sort of fairly dingy space market, basically. So Anto went to the local sort of, bar to mingle and see if he could dig up any info. And one of his old buddies was there. But before he went to talk to him, he was at this stall where they were kind of selling. Basically, the place was so corrupt that they were openly selling like weapons and hard drugs and stuff in the middle of the bar, and the cops were over drinking in the corner.
Okay.
So Anto went over and asked me like a few things about, could he get something that resembled a lightsaber but wasn't for copyright reasons. So I was like, yeah, sure, you can do all these things. And I just made mention of like a little tablet that was on the thing, and it was supposed to be some sort of super drug. They don't know what it is yet, but it has given me sort of a plot idea. But Anto asked how much it was, and he couldn't afford it even close. So we were just role playing the conversation out straight, and halfway through Anto was like, wait a minute, shoes untied. So I was like, okay, what? And then while the character was doing that, Anto was like, I'm going to steal the drugs.
So Anto now has super drugs, and me and Danny went clothes shopping.
Yeah.
Alan or Juliana, anything to throw in?
Well,
Favorite moment?
because I wouldn't say I'm a big game player or even geek.
In fairness, you
Yeah,
have a pretty decent collection of board games at this stage.
You do.
I just love shopping.
I'm sorry, my friend, you're giving your story. It's not board game,
Yeah, okay, one of my greatest collection that I love is that I have Munchkin and I actually bought a lot of booster cards. So many of my decks are filled with cards that not many of you guys have seen before. So it's nice that I know what's coming when you play with it. And then so there's one time where I was playing with Declan and Maraid, and so I have this card that says whoever checked the rules.
Oh, that's
I
the
remember
Penny
this.
Arcade. That's the Penny Arcade expansion, isn't it?
Yeah. Maraid was at level 9 at the moment, and I was like, oh, by the way, what to do when we're dead again? So keep trying to get Maraid to check the rule, and Declan said, here, let me say it. Said, no, I do not want you, I want Maraid to read it.
I got so angry. Well, fuck you.
And then Maraid, yeah, sure, this is it. And then bang, lose your level. Oh, my greatest moment.
I remember because I won that game by killing myself. Which is which is my it's my finest Munchkin achievement to date, but I think that might be the angriest I've ever seen Maraid. And I had to walk back to the Lewis station with her, The rage that emanated on the whole way out was just.
That's how you know she's really angry. She's just like high pitched street.
Yeah.
Apparently, I still haven't been forgiven for
No.
it. So.
No.
But for me,
Probably
that's
not.
one of my top two
Yeah.
moments of
Yeah,
playing
it's
game.
glorious.
The second was when we played Walking Dead. That
God.
what did I get? What character was that?
You were Dale. No, not Dale. Yeah, you were Dale. Yeah.
Dale with the van that I can speed up as fast as I can, and I was so far away from any of the location that we had to get to. I'm just gonna drive around and bringing a zombie behind me. So
Yeah.
up to a point where I didn't get any of the location, but I ended up killing everybody else.
She basically spent the entire game driving around.
You won by default by ensuring that we had actually nowhere to move.
Oh my
That wasn't
God.
covered by zombies.
Yeah,
That's
at the
horrible.
point where
Thanks.
I failed the entire board with zombie.
Yeah.
Only on the edge that was
Yeah.
clear that I do a bit of like S, triple, double S's did, and then
There
one
was some places
empty
where there
lane
was
that I
like
did.
4 or 5 zombie markers on one spot.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh no, that's one of the goals we play with is try to stack the zombies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what we've turned the Walking Dead board game into.
Yeah.
Stack the
Stack.
zombies.
Yeah.
The zombies.
That we put so much that we ran out of zombie tokens.
Zombie
Zombie
tokens. Oh, there's a
tokens.
lot of tokens.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Check it out.
Yeah.
You got anything?
My best achievement.
There's been it's just like Jules there is kind of around Munchkin. One of them being one of the first times I ever played Munchkin, which I believe Naomi was at like possibly nearly level 9, maybe
Oh, don't you bring this up.
even level 8. Somewhere high, she was about ready to win, and then she drew a level 1 potted plant, and
Oh, this is where it began.
Yeah,
this is
all
where it
began.
all began.
Yeah.
We have to put this part in, so we're going to keep. So
We have to.
If you skip forward
Yeah.
for the tabletop, go back and listen to the podcast, the part of the podcast where we played Munchkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, we all ganged up against Naomi, who was quite high in level,
Yeah.
possibly almost very close to winning.
We're pretty sure I was level 9.
You were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Level 1 potted plant, and everybody threw whatever they had in their deck or in their hand onto the potted plant to make sure that Naomi lost.
And like the thing with the potted plant, it's level 1.
Yeah.
It's a potted plant.
Yeah.
There's no way you can fail, like,
Yeah.
to run away.
Yeah,
like,
it
the
can't
escape.
damage you in any
Can't.
way.
Yeah.
But it's the shame
And a
of
free
losing to the
escape
podcast.
as well.
It's the shame of losing. And if you
It's
did
not a
listen...
shame of, yeah.
It's doing a Naomi on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for anyone who plays Munchkin,
Yeah.
if you want to do a Naomi,
Mhm.
it's basically force your friend to lose the pot plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you scream in their face that they've done a Naomi on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you did listen to the podcast, you will hear that we all viciously made Andy?
Andy?
Alan.
You
Alan
know what,
lose
2 years
to-
now?
Yeah. I don't know why that came to mind.
You know, it's
It's okay,
fascinating.
because Declan forgot who he was once.
What's
Well, I
really
was drunk,
interesting
so
though
it's fine.
is Naomi was level 9 when she first bought the potted plant.
Yeah.
If she wasn't, would we have bothered?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But then you have to also look at how many bonuses yet she had as well on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had quite a full stack.
She had
and
quite,
lost it.
and she did add more as we were trying to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But then it just became just a stack of cards just because
Yeah.
we could.
Ryan, do you want to weigh in here what your favourite moment, be it board game, card game, or
That was a
RPG?
favourite moment.
Oh, what do
So
We
Oh,
actually
Lord.
we've had a good mix. We've had a good
Yeah.
mix so far. We've covered kind of all aspects.
I was very happy when with the aforementioned Munchkin game when I killed myself and won. That was fun.
Mm.
I literally have no idea. Favorite moment.
Or just a moment.
Just a moment that
stands
always
out.
stands out for you. Yeah, that'll work.
A moment that always stands out.
Oh, when I nearly killed the old man.
What?
Remember
Ooh.
in Firefly?
Oh,
What
yeah.
about ruining my entire superhero RPG with your apathy?
Twice.
Twice over.
Now that's actually kind of what I did. See, my thing whenever I play RPGs with you is I deliberately set out to irritate you as much as possible.
And it doesn't.
And normally it somehow ends up becoming a thing and
Yeah.
actually working for the
Yeah.
Because I tried to annoy you by doing that.
yeah. And it's just this nicely mutual thing that goes on.
I'm gonna bash him with my loot.
I did read. Oh, that's my favourite thing. Over the entire course of that game, the last game that we played with Declan, which we actually did a podcast on that game.
Mhm.
But one of my characters
Smoke on the water, that's what it's called.
one of my characters very arbitrarily assigned traits was that he had bad luck.
Oh.
which I know Declan was doing just to be bitchy at me. But
What?
but basically, I had to roll a dice pretty much every time I did anything.
Oh, that way. Roll
And
dice.
yeah, and if I rolled an odd number, then I was fine, and if I rolled an even number, then something bad had happened to me. And I rolled a 1 every single time for 2 days straight.
Except the one time I actually made you roll opposites.
Yeah.
And then you rolled even. I was like, you.
Yeah. That was glorious.
I think I think my favorite moment, something that I will never forget, would be I suppose one of the first times I ever properly tabletop RPG'd. I mean, I used to play Buffy online, forum-based RPG and stuff like that. But this was my first proper sit-down dice card sheets, and I was playing an air mage called Air. I think I've spoken about her as well in that previous cast.
Yeah.
Air the Air Mage.
Air the Air Mage. Hey, it was spelled EYR.
Oh.
So it was ER.
Yar.
ER the Air Mage. I was a blind 16-year-old girl. That was like the thing, and I remember the gem used to go, everybody roll your perception. I'm blind. I can't see over the hill, so I'll just sit here on the horse. But we were fighting. I don't know if I brought this up in the podcast, but we were fighting this huge Goliath made of the ashes of these dead sailors that were on a boat.
Oh,
yeah, it was really crazy. We were on a boat in the middle of nowhere. We were sailing from one continent to another, and the ship had ended up being cursed by the villain of the story. And I don't know, as we were hacking into these zombified sailors and crew, they kept bursting into ash, and that ash kept getting caught in this really unnatural wind because the ship wouldn't move, but there was wind all around us. And eventually, once we defeated them all, they kind of formed this huge Goliath of dead sailor ashes. And we were, it was, you'd shoot an arrow at it or you'd hack at it and the ash would cut away and then reform. We were doing absolutely nothing to it. And so I was the air mage, we had a fire mage, and we had an earth mage. So the Barry, one of the other role players, was saying, we should, maybe try to set it on fire, we could try to burn it away, but we're in the middle of the ocean on a wooden freaking ship.
It's ash anyway. So.
Yeah, so we'll try to do something to it. So I was like, okay, you came up with this idea of basically, he would create a fireball, I would increase the air pressure around it, trying to basically create a bomb almost.
Yeah.
And then the earth mage said that she would infuse it with her own magic. So we all took a turn. So Barry took a turn casting the fire spell. I took a turn increasing the pressure on it. Therese, who was the earth mage, took a turn infusing with her magic. Yeah. Then we all took an extra turn putting more magical energy into it. So we called it the Grecian A-bomb.
I like it.
The game was set very much kind of Greek god kind of style. Yeah. So we then each took a turn moving the bomb using our magic. So we'd move it a certain amount of feet, but then Barry would have to roll, I'd have to roll, and Therese would have to roll in that order. Uh-huh. And we were moving, and the entire time, the other two characters, there was a kind of a sword master, and then like a thief who had throwing knives, were trying to distract it. So while we were moving this not so conspicuous bomb towards it, this huge, like, intensely glowing orb of light and fire. And I just remember I started to panic. Out of the game, out of character. I started to get kind of nervous. I was like, this isn't good, something's going to go wrong. I don't want to roll the dice. And, that ended up kind of crossing into the character I was playing. Yeah. I was playing a 6-year-old blind girl who had no idea where she was moving this ball of
that's
bomb. Awesome. And I panicked, and he was like, roll the dice. I was like, I can't. I said, I'm panicking. And the GM took that on board as if to say, the air mage just basically lost complete control of her ability over her spell.
Oh my god.
So she has just unleashed this bomb.
It just started expanding.
It didn't expand, it just blew up there and then.
Oh my god.
So 3 turns, and we were quite powerful mages at this stage, so it was 3 turns infusing the spell, then moving it while infusing it.
Oh my god.
That's a TPK.
We were in the middle of the ocean. It blew up, it destroyed the monster. I managed to cast an air shield over us just in time to take away most of the damage. The fire mage lost an arm because of me, and we were stranded in the middle of the ocean for I think maybe 2 weeks.
Wow!
Literally 2 weeks of gaming.
That's cool.
In the ocean, trying to figure out what the hell do we do.
Yeah. That's cool.
That always sticks with me when I think about for me for tabletop, like.
Yeah.
It's a good way that it's a really good way of letting like the actual role playing influence the mechanics.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was the backlash against us, and to be like, I mean, that was at least like 11 years ago, and I still think about it, and I still kind of go, ugh, cringe.
Listeners, tell us your favourite way to kill ash monsters.
Yeah, actually in that scenario, what the hell would you have done other than Grecian A-bomb, obviously?
See, with
If
that,
you were an air mage, could you not just like?
I was a
Just
crap
like-
air mage.
Oh.
I was a blind 16-year-old girl who had no idea where she was.
in that situation, I suppose you didn't really have any other mages who could have done anything. I'd say the best way to deal with an ash monster is to freeze it
Yeah,
Mm.
or wash it away.
but like
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
Like they didn't have anyone who could do that.
we had no water. We'd no water mage.
Well, if you were an air mage, could you not make enough of an impact on the water so that it splashed up?
Once again, it was quite like before I had to do anything, I had to cast out an air spell to
Also-
sense my surroundings.
Yeah, he's blind.
I had
Yeah.
I was basically, they used to call me sonar, because I had to like send out a blast of air while using my magic to sense my surroundings.
Oh.
So I'm like, beep, beep, beep. I was a bat. I was a freaking walking bat.
That's awesome.
Not really.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, no, that was all we could think of, blowing the crap out of it. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
That generally tends to be
and had
the
it not
default
panicked,
situation.
it might not have gone that way, but it ended up going.
Yeah.
We actually lost that campaign as well. It was really
Oh, wow.
devastating because we'd spent a year playing the game
Yeah.
Oh.
and we lost, and it was just
That's
awesome. I think the GM at that stage had actually, and you're going to hear snoring again, and that is Alan, because Alan is now some silence.
Oh.
All man, Alan sleep.
Oh, you
Oh,
started.
we woke him up. He's angry.
She-
He looks like the guy from Up now. Where's your house full of balloons, eh?
Aww.
Um, So we're going to leave it there, I think.
Yeah.
Unless anybody else wants to throw anything in. So, Grecian A-bombs,
Yeah.
Ash
Yeah.
monsters, Captain America,
Yeah.
terrible lipstick,
Yes.
Yeah.
And buns.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of butts.
a lot of butts.
A lot of butts.
If you want to see some butts, and he was chiseled perfectly.
Yeah.
He was-
He's basically,
Oh.
it's like a triangle on
Yeah.
legs.
Great.
And a butt.
Funny thing, and I don't know if you knew this or whatever, but you know the scene in the first movie where they have the comparison between Skinny Him and Other Him?
Yeah.
Skinny Him was CG,
Yeah.
not the other way around.
Oh,
I
and
don't
that-
buy
yeah,
the skinny part at all.
The skinny part in the new one is even creepy. He's got bug eyes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, lads, maybe shrink him a small bit.
And then he tried to make the voice obviously same. It doesn't really match with the body he was
Yeah.
in at the
Yeah.
moment. I mean,
Mm.
you
It's
know.
quite a deep voice for
Yeah.
such a thin
Mm.
frame.
True.
It's kind of funny though.
Yeah, it was. Oh, man. All right, that's the latest episode of the podcast.
Yes.
Don't forget to check out, obviously, the arcade.ie for, the latest news, reviews, interviews, and competitions. We are running a few competitions at the moment with the Japanese Film Festival Ireland, and you can win some tickets to screenings in Limerick, Cork, Galway, Dublin, and I want to say Belfast, but I'm not entirely sure of the fifth location, but
Yeah.
we have tickets to give away, so just make sure you check out the Facebook and check out the guys on Twitter and Facebook as well. We mentioned boardgamer.ie already, and
Go see Captain America.
go see Captain
Cap.
America. Do please play some tabletop gaming today, whether you
Yes.
ad-lib an RPG
Today.
yeah, today.
Is
Today,
it not
tomorrow.
12? No, it's not.
Um,
Snap.
Whether it's Monopoly or a Twister on a table, or you're going to sit down and you're going to paint some Warhammer figures, just
Or just play
enjoy.
your first RPG, do something like
yeah,
that.
just grab something off the internet and just
Yeah.
have fun with it. And just let us know in the comments or anything like that. What was your first experience or your favorite game or your best moment from any kind of tabletop game? And also make sure to check out our Let's Play videos because they're starting on our YouTube channel now as well. And you can watch me and Naomi harass
And
Davy
Jessica
Chicken.
Alba.
And Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Harass Davy Chicken.
Can
And
we get some final words from Jessica?
yeah, Jessica.
Guys, thanks so much for having me again. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna play my RPGs.
Every time, Jessica.
Anytime,
We love you.
you just come back whenever you want, love.
Am I Bill or Alba?
You're Beelzebub.
Bialba.
Like it's like Beelzebub, but not a demon that we know of yet.
Oh.
You're a Cockney demon.
No, she had to leave.
She's
She
gone.
had to get a flight.
Oh my god, she's gone.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. Oh, I didn't even get to see her goodbye.
I know.
But wait a minute, weren't you just here?
Oh, I just went to the toilet. Yeah. You know, it's fine.
And on that enigmatic note, we
That-
end.
that-
That bombshell.
We'll see you guys at the next episode. 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 Episode.